guys, welcome back to the channel. Movie review time. This is one of my favorites. This is probably the movie that I actually call sci-fi horror and my favorite sci-fi horror of all time. I don't really consider Aliens to be that much of a horror, to be honest. It's more sci-fi to me, but this one especially is more sci-fi plus horror together in 50-50 percentage, and I would call it one of my favorite in both genres. I'm talking about Event Horizon. I do have the movie over here, the DVD, but I actually watched it on a streaming service, or I should say rewatched it on a streaming service. This is probably number 10. It's one of my favorite movies, like I said, and I've watched it at least 10 times so far. So what is Event Horizon? It's a 1997 sci-fi horror film directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. I have to check and see whether I've watched other movies of Paul W.S. Anderson. I don't really follow directors too much, except for maybe like a couple of the really big ones, like Steven Spielberg, for example. It is starring Lawrence Fishburne, amazing, Sam Neill, amazing, Kathleen Quinlan, Jolene Richardson, and quite a few other people. You've also got Richard T. Jones, Jack Noseworthy, Jason Isaacs, Sean Pertwee. He's my least favorite of the actors, least favorite of the characters as well, especially. I don't think I've actually seen him more than maybe a couple of other movie roles. But yep, Event Horizon, amazing movie. What's it about? It's set in 2047. It's basically a crew of astronauts who are sent to find out one of the ships that disappeared. It's called the Event Horizon. It was a revolutionary ship that had a different system, different engineering system, which is supposed to have reduced the time that it takes to travel among the stars by almost instantaneously. Once they kick the not hyperdrive, but they have a different drive that is there in gear. So basically the whole point is once that particular system starts to work, it will create a wormhole, basically bending time and space, or basically bending space. So instead of going in a straight line to one point A to point B, it folds that space, they pass through, and then space unfolds once again, and the ship is on the other end of the site. So reducing the travel time by quite a lot. So the Event Horizon was the starship that disappeared around 7 years ago, so 2040, and it was supposed to be somewhere around Neptune. That is a point that they actually tried to, they did bend space and travel, but there hasn't been any news since. So their destination was Proxima Centauri, and this particular crew is sent to go and find them on their ship, which is the rescue mission, basically. It's not written here, but the Lewis and Clark, that's the name of their ship. So along with the crew members, there is the scientist who actually built the engine, that the engineering system that actually was on the Event Horizon. So in case of anything that they require, he's their go-to guy. They finally do reach there. The people are not really happy to have him on board. They were supposed to be on holiday or something like that, or vacation or something, including what's her name? Peters, who's the medical technician of the Lewis and Clark. She was actually supposed to go and spend time with her son, but she decides to switch the time that she gets with her son along with her ex. So she's going to get him later on. That's basically one of the things. So there is a little bit of hostility towards him, and then they finally reach their destination, and then they find that the crew is basically they lost gravity. It's a complete mess. There's a lot of blood all around, dried up blood, because the crew has been massacred. So they actually find what do you call it? There is a warning message that initially I think he's a medical tech, is he? Played by Jason Isaacs. Oh yeah, he's a medical doctor of the crew. He knows Latin, so he says it sounds like they say uh, "liberate me," which is "save me," but later on once he finds that it says "liberate tu me ex inferis." I hope I'm saying a little bit of that correctly. That's what I remember them saying it, and it's also written here in that format. Liberate tu me ex inferis, which means save yourself from hell. So basically what happened is, okay, well, let's go to the next point. So Justin, who is in the engine room, he accidentally activates it and he gets sucked into it, and then he's brought back and he is in a catatonic state. Basically, when they folded time and space, when they folded space rather, the ship went into a hell dimension with a little bit of supernatural elements into it. So is it actually hell, or is it just like a different dimension that is kind of like hell? We don't know. But then people start seeing things, and one by one the ship basically is alive now. It starts killing off people. Justin tries to launch himself out into space while he's in a trance, and they grab him back, but he's in a coma, so he's put into stasis. Then pretty soon Sam Neill's character, William Weir, Dr. Weir, he is going through things. There's also the backstory about Dr. Weir, that the fact that he lost his wife committed suicide, so he keeps seeing her, and the ship is basically using him, playing tricks on his mind. Oh well, once all of that goes on, people start getting killed. They kill off Peters because she keeps seeing her son around. Then Smith, who's the pilot of the Lewis and Clark, he sees Dr. Weir, without actually seeing his face. He actually sees Dr. Weir come in and do something and then go back into the event horizon when they're trying to escape. And then he's getting the ship ready, but then he sees that there's a bomb and it explodes, killing Smith as well as destroying the Lewis and Clark. They're all stuck on the ship, and Dr. Weir goes, because it's taking over him. He rips out both his eyes and he says, "I don't really need eyes to see." And the ship is haunting them. Finally, Captain Miller is, he's also haunted by his own ghost, a former crew member who he couldn't save from a previous ship, and he has to make the decisions. So it's finally just him, Lieutenant Stark, played by Jolie Richardson, and Richard T. Jones, who the character's name is Cooper, and Justin is basically in stasis. So he decides to get everybody off into the main part of the ship, and there is a lengthy hallway, lengthy neck kind of the ship part, which can be broken off, and the front part can be used as a lifeboat, set it back into Earth, and they can go get rescued. But of course, Dr. Weir doesn't want them to leave, so he and Cooper have a fight, and Miller basically decides to sacrifice himself, destroys the ship, which is about to get activated once again, kills himself, kills Dr. Weir, and whatever that is actually looking like Dr. Weir, and they get sucked into the wormhole that it creates. It closes, but the front part of the ship is managed to escape, and it leaves with Justin in stasis, with Stark and Cooper. They also go into stasis and are like when they are found like a few months later by a rescue crew closer to Earth, and they open, and she basically Stark has got hallucinations of Weir, and still trying to attack them, but she is actually rescued along with Cooper. They try to calm them down as the doors close and the movie ends. Initially, I thought that the ship was still haunted or something like that because of the door closing at that exact point, but I think it's not really that. They actually do escape. Yeah, that's the movie. As much as I could tell it. Fantastic film. Some of the special effects, especially towards the beginning, look really outdated, especially when I was watching it this time. But the rest of the movie, I think, pretty much stands up. It's one of my favorites, like I mentioned. I give it a 9 out of 10. It is creepy. It is exciting. It still, gives me the willies when I watch it. Yeah. So I don't know. I think they should have actually tried to go for a sequel. The problem was the movie was made on a budget of 60 million, and it only made 42 at the box office. However, it got a cult following much later on cable TV and on DVD and Blu-ray. So, and it's now considered to be a cult classic from that time. This movie is. I wish they could have actually followed up with a sequel or two. Maybe they might redo it or do something later on. I'm not really sure. Hollywood's running out of ideas. Why not go and make another movie? Or make another sequel rather. But yeah, I do like this movie quite a lot. 9 out of 10 for me, excuse me. It's time for me to go to bed. And so have a good night. And don't let hell capture you. Bye-bye.